Grand rising and good morning, good day, whenever you are coming across this video. Hi. Um, I am on my way or just arriving to my spot in nature where I'm gonna sit for a little while and just enjoy the solitude. But as I was driving, I was thinking about last night and um thinking about how much fun I was having. And it gave me like a whole download. And I know it was important and I needed to say it because as I was thinking it, I began to cry. And I was like, wow, this is so powerful. I gotta share like now. Like, I can't wait till I'm done. Like, I gotta share it now while the energy is around me now. So, a little backstory. Around this time last year, I was um, newly separated. Um, And it's interesting how many people don't even really know now that I'm divorced. That was something I was thinking about as I was driving. Like, I didn't make a big to do. I didn't make this post. I'm divorced. Blah blah blah. I didn't do that. I just changed my name back, and it was interesting because I changed my name back before I actually physically moved. I just when I knew it was going to happen, I changed my name. So my name had been changed maybe on my social media network since like August or something, and I didn't physically get the place that we're in, the boys and I are in now, until October. Um, so it was interesting to like now sometimes still people will be like, "Hey, where is?" And then I have to like say it, and I'm just like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm just earlier this year, I was in a grieving process. I'm okay right now. There are moments there's still some grief, but otherwise I'm okay. But because of where I was at last year, this time, I really wanted to do something to make the holidays feel special because I just wasn't feeling it. So I asked my friends, would they, be down with doing a holiday party at my house? Um, I just wanted to feel that. Um, they got, we had all only been together in my house the day I moved in. Um, and I just needed something else, another memory. I didn't think it was going to turn into an annual thing, but it seems like it has. Um, and it was so much fun. Like, I needed every bit of that. It was so healing and so uplifting. So, I asked them again. I was like, "Hey, you want to make this an annual thing?" And they were like, "Bet, you know, hey, put it together." And it was crazy because it wasn't until this morning I was thinking about, like, in the same time, I lost two people that I loved, like, almost simultaneously. And then I gained another person to love. And it was just like this moment this morning, just think about that. Like, as those two people left, another one stepped in because we knew each other, and I knew that he knew my other two friends, but we didn't hang like that. We talked a lot at work or anything, but we didn't have like an outside of work connection. And it was like all of a sudden we did. And it was just like fell right in as if it had always been there. Like it was always supposed to be there. And so last night we were just, and it's not anything like super like humongous. Like, we do a gift exchange, we eat, we talk, we'll play music, play video game or something. I think last year I did a murder mystery. This year we did Michael Jackson Experience. Um, Next year I think I want us to go someplace. But we'll see. But I laughed so hard last night. I laughed so hard. There was at one point I was laughing and I had to sit on the floor. Like I couldn't continue to stand. I had to hit the floor and laugh. It was just this big, beautiful energy all around. And it was like, and it was so funny because I feel like I was feeling them. I'm like, this is not as funny as it's supposed to be. And it was like all of their joy, all of their laughter, all of their freedom in the moment was like wafting around me. And what I was thinking as I was driving this morning was, in that moment, God was in the room. And the moment I had that thought, the tears hit, because I was like, God is like pure happiness and pure joy. It's like unchained bliss. And that's where I was at last night, like wild abandon. And I was like thinking, why do I always feel like I need to experience that with women? Why does their shell matter? Why can't I just experience it with the souls I'm meant to experience it with? And then I cried it some more because my relationships with my own gender, sex, whatever you want to call it, have always been very much like the moon, ebb and flow. I'll get a space. And it's interesting because it's not that, like, I'm not one of those women that say I can't be friends with women. I have a lot of women who like me, like, genuinely like me. Like, I don't have to have a lot of money, I don't have to be able to go on trips. They just genuinely like me. They like my energy. They think I'm sweet, all of these things. But we don't hang out. Not like that. I have like my mentor I go to lunch with here and there, but outside of maybe her, there isn't a consistent female presence in my life that is just like that. And it's really interesting because what is like noticed on social media is this trend among women saying they can't be consistent as friends. And I thought that was really interesting because I feel like if you call yourself inconsistent, that is going to eventually manifest in other areas of your life. And I, made a video and a post on like encouraging stop saying that. It's not that you're inconsistent. What you define, you have to define what consistency looks like. If you are consistently, I'm going to call you a recorder, that is your consistency. But what I have, which is interesting because the antithesis is that guys will say, stereotypically that they're not really consistent as friends with their homeboys. They don't call their homeboys every day, things like that. They don't do that. Um, but they don't consider themselves to be inconsistent. But by what some people define as consistency, they may think that is. But when I needed it, most, God sent my soul tribe to me. He sent souls to me that have lived lifetimes with me. All of them, they feel so, so familiar. Like it was instant. Each connection was like boom. And there were days I was just like, what the heck? Like, I just met you. But it's like little kids at the playground. Hey, you want to play with me? Yes, I want to play with you. Boom. Instant. In the moments where I needed it most, my divine mother said, I am not going to let you feel alone like this. And my greatest heartbreaks, each one had shown up. When I didn't have a car anymore, my girlfriend and I had split up. I was like struggling, catching a cab back and forth to work. One showed. Who brought the other one? When my husband said, I don't want to be married to you anymore and you got to go, I knew the other two were going to be there. Like there wasn't they just like, what day? And I asked the third one, but I didn't know why. I'm like, he don't know me like that. I literally only asked because he was already friends with the other two. Like they were cool already. And so I was like, yo, do you want to come? Do you mind coming to help me out? And so again, in this moment where I'm losing, I'm also gaining. And so last night it was crazy because I did divination that morning and it said that for the day that it was determination bringing me closer to a deeper spiritual connection. And in the grand scheme of things, my divination that morning was the most spiritual looking thing I did that day. Like that was the most, like if you were just looking and watching me, you just watching said, well, that's the only spiritual thing she did today. How is she deepening her spiritual connection? Yesterday, I was just like, I'm going to buy them each something. And it wasn't something super major, but it was just something I felt like would touch them. Um, yeah, I went into straight like mommy mode shopping. I was just like, oh my God. Like when I got to the register, it's like, how much? Oh, okay. But, you know, but the moment they opened the box, the moment they each opened their box, the look of sheer yes, joy, like they all shrunk in that moment. All of them shrunk and they were just kids having fun, like what you would imagine kids having fun on like the morning of Hanukkah or the morning of Christmas when they're opening their presents or on their birthday. That feeling, that joy was what was on their face. And that feeling of joy is what was in my house last night. And that's where God lives. God lives in that feeling of joy. God lives in that feeling of bliss. And however you are finding that bliss, whatever your soul tribe looks like, get past their exterior shell. Get past whatever pronouns they want to use. It is your soul and their soul that are communing with each other in that moment. It is their soul and your soul coming together in sacred union and being light all at that same time. And that was so beautifully profound because it's like I had gotten in this place where because I didn't have quote unquote female friends, I feel like I had to try to force it. And you can't force the connection. Your soul tribe will come to you and you will know what role they play because every aspect of your soul tribe isn't supposed to be that level of a connection. Every aspect of your soul tribe isn't meant to be like what I had last night, where it's just all of us in the house falling all over the floor, laughing, being crazy. Like, that's not all they're meant to be. They come into your life for a reason, and they come to your life for a purpose. And the moment you let go of what your tribe, what your people are supposed to look like, and look at who loves you, who is consistent with your energy. Last night, I got to be free in a way I don't always allow myself to be. Last night, I sang. Last night, I danced. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like, to put it in perspective, like, visually, imagine me young in the club, just dancing to a song on the dance floor and letting the music sweep me away. That's what I felt like last night. And what I appreciate most is my ability, my to feel safe in my wholeness with them. I don't feel like I have to be anything other than me. Whatever she looks like, I am allowed to ebb and flow in my own energy. I can be exceptionally feminine. I can be in my masculine. I can be wherever I need to be in that moment. And it's so beautiful because in that moment, I'm everywhere. I am full in my light, full in my shadow, full in my material, wafting in my spiritual. I am so close to God in the moments where I get to hang out with them. If I had done divination that night, last night, even when I got ready to do my full moon ritual, when I sat down to do my full moon ritual after they left, and the house was quiet, my third eye was just not painful either, just I was aware of it. I was physically aware of its presence on my body, open. And I was just like, okay, okay. But this morning has just been like that spiritual connection, that closeness to spirit doesn't necessarily have to look like me sitting someplace, and it doesn't look like that all the time. It can look like you sitting with your friends, unchained, walls completely down, because when your walls are down, you're vulnerable. And when you're vulnerable, you are most open to receive your blessings. When I craft my love in my mind's eye, there are pieces of all of my friends in there, just melded together with some other stuff, but all of those things are there. And I am grateful. I am grateful that God allowed me to share space with men that protect, that provide, and that are present. They were both, it was really cool to watch it from a higher perspective, that they ebbed and flowed even in the space of each other and with myself, where they would have their like moment where it was just them connecting as men, and I sat back and I was able to watch and enjoy and laugh and feed off of that. But I never felt left out, and they never asked more of me than to me be present. They never asked more of me than me be there. Like, they didn't expect the box, and they're like, you didn't have to do this, and I'm just like, okay, do you need anything? No, we're fine. But they give me the space to be that, you know? And it's, there's so many women, people in general, that just say they're no good men, especially my black men. a lie. It's a lie. There are good black men out there. There really are. So many of them. I am honored that I get to be surrounded by beautiful black men, beautiful, strong, in their own spirit black men, beautiful, strong in their own ashe black men. And they don't challenge mine and I don't challenge theirs. It harmonizes like a beautiful song. They honor my practice. They go in my altar room, they speak to my ancestors. If I ask for a spiritual gift, I got a gift. I got a beautiful lotus tapestry, astro dice, and a book on runes, which was so cool because I just bought some. But he didn't know that I hadn't shared that I bought the runes. But he, you know, I let go of the need that my sacred relationship has to be attached to a specific physical body. I have a sacred fellowship. I have a sacred fellowship and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm so honored that God let their souls come back and join me all at once. If you ask me, I don't think we incarnated all together in a while. Maybe each individually, but all at once. I think it's been a while. I feel really, really grateful. Really grateful. Okay, I'm gonna stop crying now so that I can go and do my ritual this morning. Oh God. Honor your sacred friendships. Do not feel like they have to look a certain way. And know that in those moments where y'all are being silly, goofy, and it doesn't matter what you're talking about, God gave you voice. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. If y'all are living in your fullness, in your joy, in your bliss, in your laughter, God's sitting right there laughing with you. I hope you have a beautiful day. Sorry about all the tears. That's just, yeah, post full moon. It is what it is. So thank you and have a great day.